If you've ever walked through a healthy forest, you've already seen the secret to building rich soil, without compost bins, turning piles, or waiting months for finished compost. The ground is soft, dark, alive, and constantly renewing itself. No one is hauling in manure, no one is flipping compost, yet plants thrive. At Soilpower, this is one of the most powerful lessons I've learned. You don't need composting to make soil, you need to copy the forest floor. Once you understand how this works, you'll never look at mulch the same way again. This method is simple, low effort, and shockingly effective. It works in raised beds, gardens with poor soil, dry regions, and even dead ground that seems beyond saving. Let's break down exactly how the forest floor builds soil naturally, and how you can use the same trick in your own garden. A forest floor isn't tidy. Leaves fall, branches drop, plants die back, and nothing gets removed. Instead of being cleaned up, everything stays right where it falls. Over time, these layers slowly break down. But here's the key most gardeners miss. The forest floor doesn't compost first. Decomposition happens directly on the soil surface. Microbes, fungi, insects, worms, and soil life all work together in place. The material above feeds the life below. That life in turn turns raw organic matter into stable soil, right where plants need it. This is called in-place decomposition, and it's how soil has been built for millions of years. Composting is useful, but it's not natural in the way we usually practice it. Compost piles heat up, lose carbon to the air, and require turning, watering, and management. In nature, that level of disturbance almost never happens. When you compost first and then apply it later, you're doing extra work that the soil ecosystem can already handle for you. The forest floor method skips the middleman. Instead of pre-digesting organic matter in a pile, you let soil organisms do the job directly in your garden bed. This saves time, preserves nutrients, and builds deeper biological activity than compost alone ever could. Plants don't feed themselves directly, they rely on soil life to unlock nutrients. The forest floor mulch trick works because it feeds that soil life continuously. Every time you add a layer of organic material on top of the soil, you are sending energy downward. Fungi move in first, followed by bacteria, protozoa, nematodes, insects, and earthworms. These organisms convert raw plant material into plant-available nutrients slowly and steadily. This creates living soil, not just soil that's been amended. And the beauty of this system is that it improves with time instead of wearing out. The best forest floor mulch looks messy, and that's a good thing. Diversity is what makes this method work. Dry leaves are the backbone. They are carbon-rich, break down slowly, and encourage fungal growth. In a forest, leaves make up the bulk of the surface layer, and your garden should be no different. Green materials like fresh grass clippings, weeds, kitchen scraps, or plant trimmings add nitrogen. These break down faster and feed bacteria, balancing the slower leaf material. Woody materials such as small twigs, chipped branches, or shredded stems add structure and long-term carbon. This mimics fallen branches in a forest and supports fungal networks. The goal isn't perfection. The goal is layered organic chaos, just like nature. This method works best when applied directly on bare or existing soil without digging. Start by leaving the soil surface undisturbed. Digging breaks fungal networks and disrupts soil structure. If weeds are present, just cut them at ground level and leave the roots in place. Next, lay down a thick layer of dry leaves or straw first. This acts as the main carbon layer and helps suppress weeds. Then, add a thinner layer of green material on top. This can be fresh weeds, grass clippings, or plant waste from your garden. After that, finish with another light layer of dry material to cover and protect the greens underneath. This prevents smells, flies, and rapid drying. Now, water the mulch gently to activate microbial life. Moisture is essential. Dry mulch just won't break down effectively. Over time, the layers settle, collapse, and disappear into the soil. That's not loss, that's transformation. Compost is already stabilized organic matter. While that's great for nutrients, it doesn't stimulate the soil food web as aggressively as raw material does. Fresh organic matter triggers microbial reproduction. Fungi stretch outward to claim territory. Bacteria multiply rapidly. Predators follow. Nutrients are released slowly and naturally right at the root zone. This process creates humus, the dark, stable form of organic matter that gives soil its sponge-like structure and nutrient-holding ability. Over time, soil becomes softer, darker, and easier to work with, without ever being turned. As mulch decomposes, fungi form networks that transport nutrients and water across the soil. These fungal highways connect plant roots to distant nutrient sources. Bacteria convert organic compounds into plant-available forms. Protozoa and nematodes consume bacteria and release nutrients directly in root zones. Earthworms pull surface material down into the soil, mixing it naturally while leaving behind nutrient-rich castings. This underground cooperation creates soil that feeds plants automatically, reducing the need for fertilizers. Plants grown in this system develop deeper roots, stronger immune systems, and better resistance to drought and disease. One of the biggest mistakes gardeners make is using mulch that's too thin. Nature never uses a light dusting. Forest floors are thick, cushioned, and layered. If you can still see soil through your mulch, you don't have enough. Another mistake is relying on a single material. Leaves alone will work, but diversity speeds up decomposition and builds more resilient soil biology. Avoid turning or mixing the mulch into the soil. Let decomposition happen from the surface downward. Disturbance slows fungal development and sets the system back. Finally, don't panic when mulch looks messy or unfinished. A forest floor never looks done, it looks alive. In warm conditions, you'll see changes in just a few weeks. Soil under the mulch becomes darker and softer, earthworms appear, moisture retention improves almost immediately. Within a season, plant growth becomes noticeably stronger. Within a year, even poor soil can be transformed into rich, crumbly earth. The real magic happens over time. Each layer builds on the last, creating a self-feeding system that improves year after year. This isn't a quick fix, it's a permanent upgrade. The forest floor mulch trick is forgiving. It doesn't require measurements, special tools, or perfect timing. It works with what you have and improves soil while you grow food. It saves money, reduces waste, and eliminates the need for constant soil inputs. Best of all, it aligns your garden with how nature actually works. At Soilpower, this is one of the most reliable ways to build soil strength without burning out or overcomplicating the process. Healthy soil isn't built in a pile, it's built in place. When you stop fighting nature and start copying it, everything gets easier. If you remember one thing from this article, let it be this. Soil is made from the top down, not the bottom up. Start feeding your soil the way a forest does, and it will reward you with fertility, resilience, and long-term abundance. If this guide helped you see soil differently, make sure to subscribe to the Soilpower YouTube channel, share this with a fellow gardener, and keep building soil the natural way.